TTC, this is Dolphignition coming at you with another video. Except let me get a couple things out of my way before I go to the main topic of this video. The stress of rolling with Inter Miami. The Miami Dolphins' next opponent is the Seattle Seahawks. And even though I still consider myself to be, in my perspective, a newbie to this TTC thing, even I am smart enough not to make a hate week against a team led by a quarterback who is the first in history to throw for at least four touchdowns in each of his team's first 3 Sunday games. Although I've read that Chris Carson, knee, Jamal Adams, groin, Quinton Dunbar, knee injury continuation, and Jordy Brooks, knee, are all out on IR, and our game against them is at our house, I still don't see us escaping a W because we don't do so great against legit franchise quarterbacks. Now, I could be wrong. We might see more Fitzmagic, but even in this Dolphins' dreams, could I ever see Seattle's winning streak ended by the Dolphins? Regardless of the result, I hope I'm either wrong, or if I'm right, we put up a fight. But I'm standing by my predictions. I don't expect a W against Seattle. Now allow me to build myself up to the topic of this video by thanking the Miami Dolphins for getting that well-deserved win at Jacksonville on Thursday, and thanking the Miami Heat for defeating the Celtics and shutting up the punk-ass fans like Celtics World and Tyson. You know, congratulations on your Patriots win against the Black Hole Week 3. I knew you guys would get it. But man, does it feel so fucking good cock-blocking the NBA's ultimate rivalry happening in the finals. I would so rub it in both yours and the rest of the Celtics fan bases. However, I'm not a huge basketball fan. Perhaps maybe I should start becoming one after this championship, regardless of whether we win or go down hard to the former teammate who is aiming for that trophy in honor of number 24. And let's not also forget the Miami Marlins. They had a tough season. But my men in the Midnight Black, Miami Blue, Caliente Rojo, and Slate Gray made it to the postseason. You guys deserve the most applause. More power to you guys. And if you don't make it far, that's okay. It just shows that after all the heartbreak that we've suffered in the first couple of years with Derek Jeter's leadership, we now know that we're getting somewhere. So with all these Miami teams making it far, I so happen to have made a slight mistake, and that's being focused on the one Miami team that escapes this weekend feeling the complete opposite. Our MLS team. In my recent Jaguars victory lap, I mentioned that I was going to watch on the only Sunday night that we won't play Inter Miami's game against Philadelphia Union. I knew the Union was a top team and were bottom of the standings, especially after a disastrous performance against the New York Red Bulls. But it seems like this disastrous pattern is happening constantly, and not much is changing with a new player that was signed into our team, Gonzalo Higuain. We seem to be able to do so well with not only possession, but also grabbing possession of the ball. But we fuck up in the most face-palming fashion. Most face-palming fashion at the thing that matters most. Scoring! So many games, our strikers tend to take their time before striking it in the net. And others like Lewis Morgan go for it, and it's either too high or too wide. And Pizarro, what the fuck is happening with you, mi amigo? You were on fire at the start of the season, and now you're falling short. Agudelo, you need to step it up a bit. Robinson, don't think I haven't forgotten about you. Our loss against the New York Red Bulls, I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around, but you take the lion's share because next to the officiating, because you were right there. You could have just went for it, but instead you decide to just fuck around and, take your time enough for Red Bulls to run up and put pressure on you and block your kick. If you guys are going to start scoring goals, you better start learning how to shoot long goals. Because from the last couple of games, I've been seeing you guys trying to run it up in a sea of the opponent's colors, and it's not working. Now, since the season began, our forwards and strikers have always been the number one problem with this team. They've been playing good, but they need to step it up a bit. But defense! You guys did fantastic at the start of the season. Figal, Gonzalez Perez, Sweat, and you too, Reyes. You may have collected a bunch of cards this season, but you sure as hell know how to stop people wide open for goal scoring. But still, this defense allowed, at the end of not just this game against the Union, but also against the Red Bulls, to extend our trailing against our opponents. And Nealis, what the fuck was that, my man? What the fuck was that against against Philadelphia Union? You just let that guy in the black just take that ball from you, my man. No one's gonna want you to trade you, so you gotta really, Dylan Nealis, you gotta step up the plate, man. I know you're a young guy and you haven't been used enough, and going in there can be pressuring, but come on, man. That was embarrassing. The only players that have played good on this team is, obviously, our goalkeeper, which, by the way, I saw a comment that really hurt, but I just can't argue against. They said, and I quote, "This new team doesn't deserve a goalkeeper like Robles." And the even sadder part was this was a New York Red Bulls fan too, which, by the way, is the team Robles used to play for before coming here. Lewis Morgan, you're also one of our best players. I've had issues with you at the beginning, but now you're really starting to grow on me because you know how to pass and you really know how to keep possession. And that 2-1 win against Atlanta United at our house proves that this guy really knows how to score goals. Even Reyes, whom I've criticized a lot because he keeps collecting cards, knows when the right time to get in trouble by stopping a potential goal from our opponents. Blaise Matuidi's doing good as well. Everyone else, I don't know. But one thing I do know is that I am thankful that this team is shitting the bed in an MLS season where fans can't come to the stands. Because La Familia doesn't deserve this type of performance. Now, after a good chunk of losses we've collected and continually being bottom of the standings, one would normally already call it quits. But I, on the other hand, I'm quite a stubborn fan. Up till now. Inter Miami. If we keep performing the way we've been going since the Red Bulls in the Union, even I am about ready to call this season quits. And after this season is over, I really hope this franchise can learn from these mistakes. And I really hope the coaching improves. Because this is a team with hidden potential. And it is lacking discipline. It's lacking clicking. It's lacking formation. And it's lacking execution. And if this season continues, soon it's going to lack heart. And we really, really don't want that under the management of David Beckham. I'm not saying to do better this season, because this is really our first season, and it kind of got ruined by the pandemic. But even when our ruined season got rebuilt, we still don't step up to the plate. So I'm just really hoping next season Inter Miami improves immensely. And that's all I have to say. Go Heat! Go Marlins! Go Dolphins! And as for you, Inter Miami, mejora o aprende de estos errores para que la próxima temporada seamos más victoriosos. Adiós.